All right, it's your old pal, Mr. Cook, and we are looking at the, where is it? Algebra 2 practice final, the multiple choice one. And we're going to do numbers 23 through 26. So this one, again, is just focusing on unit 3, which was rational functions. So if you need a bit of a refresher, make sure to check out the unit 3 videos, especially like the test reviews, because that's just got an awful lot of practice problems for you to work on. Or just, you can look at the examples in there. So number 23, we have to simplify. The easiest way to simplify quadratics and rational functions is to factor everything. So let's factor each and every part of it. Let's factor the first part. So the first one we have is x squared minus 16. This is a difference of squares problem. So when I take the square root of 16, I get 4. So that's going to be x plus 4, x minus 4. Now let's factor the other one that's in the top. X squared plus 4x plus 3. So I need numbers that multiply together to be 3, add together to be 1. So multiply together to be 3, add together to be 4. Why did I say 1? So anyways, those two numbers are going to be 3 and 1. So I get x plus 3, x plus 1. There we go. In the bottom, we're going to factor this. So I need numbers that multiply together to be negative 12, add together to be negative 1. Those two numbers are going to be negative 4 and positive 3. So I get x minus 4, x plus 3. And then the last one, this isn't even a quadratic, so just factor out the greatest common factor. The biggest number you can divide out of 4x and 16 is 4. So if you divide out of 4, you get x plus 4. And now you can just start canceling stuff out. So I have an x plus 4 in the top, x plus 4 in the bottom, x minus 4 in the top, x minus 4 in the bottom, x plus 3 in the top, x plus 3 in the bottom. So all I'm left with is that x plus 1 in the top and a 4 in the bottom. So that'd be A, would be my answer. The next one, solve. Oh man, whenever it says solve, you should be really happy with that because it just means that like they give you a bunch of answers and all you have to do is just plug them in. And the one that works, one that if I plug in 7, for example, for K, if I get 1, that's the answer that I'm looking for. If I don't get 1, I can eliminate that option. So watch, okay? So if I plug in 7, let's do it by hand first, and then we'll use our calculator. So if I plug it in 7 over 7 plus 7 plus 7 over 7 plus 3, and I'm going to see if it equals 1. Well, 7, and then 7 plus 7 is 14. 7 plus 3 is 10. Let's see if I get 1 when I add those together. 7 over 14 plus 7 over 10. I don't get 1. So if it's not 1, that's not an answer. I'm going to go to the next one, 3, and plug in 3. So I get 3 for K over 3 plus 7 plus 3 over 3 plus 3. And again, I'm going to see if that equals 1 or not. So 3 plus 7 is 10, so I get 3 over 10. 3 plus 3 is 6. So let's see what I get there. 3 over 10 plus 3 over 6. Nope, I don't get 1. So this is not an answer either. What about 36? So 36 over 36 plus 7 plus 36 over 36 plus 3. And we're going to see if that equals 1. So 36 plus 7 is 42. So 36 over 42. And then 36 plus 3 is 39. So 36 over 39. Let's see if that gets 1. So 36 over 42 plus 36 over 39. I don't get 1. So that means that it's guaranteed that square root of 21 is my answer. And let me prove that to you, okay? So obviously, like, square root of 21 is not going to be a nice number to plug in. That's why I didn't want to do it. But I'll just show you using the calculator that you do indeed get 1. All right, here we go. Ready? So on the top, it is square root of 21 divided by, then I need to put parentheses because I'm adding this stuff together. So square root of 21 plus 7 plus, then I do my second fraction. So square root of 21 divided by parentheses, square root of 21 plus 3, and it equals 1. Check it out. Isn't that neat? So square root of 21 is my answer because since this one, and this one don't work, then the rest of it won't work. So, just check one of them. Whenever it says solve, you should be very happy. Plug numbers in. Make sure that it works. Next up, state the restrictions on the domain for the following rational function. Well, if it's a rational function, the domain is really, really easy to find. All you got to do is just take the bottom equation, whatever it is. So it's x squared minus 36. And all you got to do is just set it equal to 0 and solve for the x values. Once you get the x value or values, those are your restrictions. Because the reason that works out is because the denominator can't be equal to 0. So we're looking for x values that get you 0, which break the math rules. So let's get the x value by itself. Let's add 36 to both sides. So we get x squared equals 36. And then take the square root of both sides. So I get x is equal to 6. Now remember, when you take the square root of this, you got to put a plus or minus in front of that. So it's going to be x equals plus or minus 6, or in other words, 6 and negative 6. So C would be my answer here. All right, now for the last one. It's a word problem, and it's going to be a rational expression. Luckily, like we've seen a bunch of these in the test and all sorts of stuff. These are pretty easy. Working alone, Imani can clean an attic in 2 hours. Leah can clean the same attic in 4 hours. Find how long it will take for them to work together. So this one works out like this. We have Imani can clean one attic in 2 hours, so 1/2, that's the rate that she cleans it. Leah can clean one attic in 4 hours, so 1/4. And then if they're working together, plus, it's equal to 1/x. So them working together takes how much time? So to solve this one, all that you need to do is just find the common denominator and put that in the numerator. So the common denominator, all I need to do is multiply 2 and 4 and 2 and 4 and 6. So 2 times 4 times, why did I say 6? 2 times 4 times x, there we go. 2 times 4 is 8, so we get 8x. And that's what we're going to do. We're going to multiply 8x in all the numerators. So if I do that, 8x goes here and here and here. I do that so that I can get rid of the denominators entirely. Because if you watch, if I do that, all the denominators are going to go away. Watch. 8/2 gives me 4, so 4x. 8/4 gives me 2, so 2x. And then the x's just cancel out here, so I get 8. Now I just solve it. 4x plus 2x gives me 6x. If I divide both sides by 6, I get x equals 8/6. And let's see what that is as a decimal. 8/6 is 1.3 repeating, so 1.3 hours. That's my answer. So number 26 is B. So that's numbers 23 through 26. That's the end of this page. And it also looks like it's the end of the rational functions, so that's all from Unit 3. So now on to the next page and on to the next video, we're going to do the Unit 4 stuff.